Hello, I am Pine. I have finally decided to do this Clangen speed art challenge that I've seen all over. Here's a few people that inspired me and are doing their own challenge on this Clangen speed art challenge. I suggest you go watch them because their storytelling is amazing and I really like it. For those who don't know, Clangen is a Warrior Cats fan game. People do lots of different challenges on and they write down what has happened during the year. Before we get into it, I want to let you guys know I am not perfect, so any mistakes, they're going to be there. Now then, moving on from the boring stuff, this is Run or Knives, our Hatchclan guide in-game. Guides don't have any statuses or anything, so I'll be talking about Hatchclan instead as you guys watch the speed paint. Hatchclan originally started as a group of refugees. They hatched together for hopes of survival and hope that StarClan would notice them, and it seems they did because they were granted a place up in the mountains by Reynolds. He led them to a little crack in the mountain that led them to quite a large cave that was adorned with shiny crystals and a blue creek. It's a type of entrance that if you weren't obliviously looking for it, you wouldn't be able to find it and just walk straight past it. However, playing through the year, I noticed that Hatchclan likes to train excessively in autumn, and I wonder if Ronaldo is leading the charge on this new clan. Now, we had 3 deaths this year. This warrior was the former deputy of Hatchclan. His name was Hibiscus Spring. Although already the deputy, he had a love-hate relationship with the leader. He was hiding from the rest of the clan, and because they couldn't hide it anymore, they decided to become mates. He was always there to fix the leader's mistakes and cheer him up. He died in-game giving birth to their kits, but realistically it would be a surrogate that he was collecting the kits from, so let me know what you guys think of that. He didn't get up to too much because he died, and he hasn't really been doing anything in StarClan, so let's move on to the next cat. For our second death, this is Grass Tuft, and I'm so sad she died because she was one of my favourites during the year. In life, she was climbing trees, thinking of a strange 2-legged object, and always running up to the other clan cats to say how much they smelled. She had a best friend within the clan, who was basically one of those emo types, and she was the complete opposite, so of course they got along. It was really funny to see them interact. At first she was tense with this cat, but they quickly got along and she kept joking with them. She was doing everything she could to impress him, and her jokes, she couldn't even remember the punchline of them at one point. She never thought there would be a dull moment with her best friend. In fact, they were even a little bit more. They both had crushes on each other and I was really rooting for them. Right before her death, she was hunting and stuck her tongue at a mouse that got away. However, while returning back to camp, she got trapped in a landslide and her body got crushed by the boulders and she never was able to make it back to her clan. Now for our last death, which is Lightpaw. She wasn't in the group of refugees that Hatchclan originally came from, but just as Hatchclan was settling in, she was found at the foot of the mountain where clearly a battle had been waged. So I think her parents were refugees and they were running from their clan that obviously followed them and killed her parents. So Hatchclan, while on a border patrol, found this 1 moon old kitten just in the middle of nowhere and decided to take her in. She was always talking to herself and told the leader, Driftstar, that she'd be the best warrior that he's ever seen when she grew up. She was trying to guard the camp with the older warriors, but they just ended up babysitting her and talking to her and playing with her at the entrance of the camp. Eventually, at like 4 or 5 moons old, she caught kitten cough, and this proceeded when she was apprenticed to Driftstar. Driftstar apprenticed her to him in hopes she would power through her sickness, but unfortunately, she never did. Now, for the man himself, Driftstar, the leader of Hatchclan. This year he was nodding approvingly at the clan's progress and also asking the medicine cat about StarClan. For multiple times this year he's been wondering if he'd be a better mediator than he is a leader. He's really struggling with the burden of leadership. And as you heard, he was in a love-hate relationship with his deputy, keeping it a secret from the clan until they finally decided to stop keeping it a secret and come out to the clan and confess they were mates. Apart from that, he laughed when one of the apprentices fell over. He also was eavesdropping on other clanmates and heard that someone actually likes him. After that, he was seen prancing around in front of that cat, and like, your mate just died and you have kits to take care of. He, by the way, did not care about his kits at all and weren't even taking care of them. He just like abandoned them emotionally. Despite not even interacting with his kits, he obviously kept an eye on them in camp, and he actually made up a dream just to speak badly about a clanmate through the whole clan. And this clanmate was an abandoned kitty pet they found in the territory. I'm not sure why he did this, but I think he just didn't like that cat and wanted the whole clan to side with him to kick him out because that clan was sick at the time. Aside this year he was just proud of his kids growing up. He also promised to protect the clan with his 9 lives. So I wonder if StarClan told him to just get in shape and become a better leader for his clan. While on border patrol alone, he ran into one of the other clan's leaders and he got on really well with them. They had a whole discussion over the border while they were checking the border lines and marking, which was a nice interaction for him during the year. And that's all for Driftstar. Moving on, we have Wolverine Pelt, which was Driftstar's choice for deputy. During this year, she was bragging about being a great hunter, and he actually disliked Driftstar for his leadership and wished he would lead the clan better. So I think that's why she became deputy, because she had different opinions. And also, she got gifted orange poppies from the previous deputy, so I think Driftstar just picked her as a reminder. Perhaps he thought Hibiscus Spring would have chosen her. Aside from that, she took her border patrol to a stinky dogwood tree and reported to the other clan that a badger was making a set on their territory. She also found a kitty pet to join, which was the one that Driftstar didn't like, and was making that kitty pet laugh again and again. She also found an abandoned rogue, a kit or apprentice just roaming the territory, so she just decided to bring him back and make him a member of Hatchclan. For the end of this year, she was just excited of the idea of baiting for squirrels. Perhaps that's her favourite prey, and she can't wait to go bounding after them. And that's all for Wolverine Pelt. Now moving on to our medicine cat, Amber Mask. At the start of the year, he was very proud of his ability to take care of his clanmates, and was silently judging Driftstar. One night he was listing all the constellations to one cat and then was woken up by a vivid dream the other night, so I wonder what that could have been about. He was also multiple times pondering little life's ironies with a smile about elder leaves. In Leaf Bear, unfortunately, he was panicking because a rat got into the herb stores and completely destroyed them. He was panicking over his clanmate's safety and future because he ran out of herbs. He also found an old kitty pet that's housefolk passed away, so he invited that cat into the clan and welcomed him. He also found tracks with blood on them, and that led to the clan finding out they have a rogue problem nearby. He found one of the other cats, medicine cats, and was happily gathering herbs with them while they swapped tricks about healing their clanmates. It was a really nice interaction, similar to the one Driftstar had to the other leader. Apart from that, Amber Mask really wants her apprentice to continue on the legacy and tradition that the medicine cats hold over their clan. Next is our eldest warrior, Faded Tooth. She was actually the one that Driftstar was prancing around in front of this year. This year she was constantly debating whether or not to become a mediator. She never made a choice though, so she just ended up keeping her warrior role. She also managed to save one of the apprentices from drowning this year, which is quite surprising seeing how old she is. Not only that, but she managed to get ambushed while she was alone out on the walk of the territory, and she got a pretty bad mangled leg because of it. Her leg took a while to heal from and kept on giving her pain throughout the year. She also confessed to someone that she has a crush on Driftstar, so we'll see if that goes anywhere. Looking through her relationship, she also has a crush on Hibiscus Spring, so I wonder if there's going to be anything pulley. Aside from that, she can tell the weather's worsening her bones and her condition. Next is Reedchomp. He was Gorse Tuft's best friend after she died, but I think he's more anxiety now more than anything. He's a grumpy warrior, and at the beginning of the year he had a terrible nightmare involving a two-leg trap. So terrible, in fact, he didn't want to get out of his nest, but after a visit from Grouse Tuft, he reluctantly followed her out. Grass Tuft was always fawning over him and grooming him, just treating him like a baby, which I guess he respected. Despite this, them working together isn't actually quite a bad duo. They managed to chase off a fox from its carcass, it being a pronghorn carcass up in the mountains, which they happily took back to camp. During all the year I found it quite funny because every cat had a status of asking him for advice, but then regretting their choice and saying he wasn't the best cat for the job. After Grouse Tuft's death, however, I think he just sulked in his nest for a while. He did have a status of easing into Grouse Tuft's presence though, so I wonder if he had a dream about that. Next is Rubble Slash, who was an apprentice at the beginning of the year. He was the apprentice that Faded Tooth saved from the river. As an apprentice, he often helped and cheered on other clanmates in battle training. However, during one of these training sessions, he confessed to Wolverine Pelt, which was his mentor at the time, that his dreams were filled with shadows and images. I do think this was a nightmare because nothing else is really going on with him for me to expect, like he's sneaking around in the duck forest and so on. He was also asking for extra work during the year, putting aside whatever pain he had, which is really sweet for him. He also encountered a green Kia, which is a bird that mimics whatever they see, and he found it really funny, and so did Wolverine. Whenever I say Wolverine Pelt's name, I always want to say Wolverine Speckle. I apologise. Rubble Slash was named at 12 moons old, honoured for his initiative. Driftstar actually made Rubble Slash's warrior ceremony very special, saying one day it will be Rubble Slash's turn to grant the names of warriors in the clan, and this was his first quest. I will say I have played into year 2 and Driftstar was actually right. Aside from that being a warrior, he tried not to falter while training, and he puffed out his chest with pride while watching over the clan. Next we have Sandfeather. She was originally a kitty pet that followed Clan to Hatchclan, but I actually think she's related to Driftstar. But this is only a theory. We'll see how it pans out in future years. When she joined the clan, she was very young, but she wasn't overly thrilled to do warrior duties. Instead, she just stayed in the camp, reinforcing the walls and just keeping everyone company. And the kids at the time really enjoyed this. So did the elders. While on border patrol, she actually convinced the clan to let in another old kitty pet and reminded them of the story of Tigger that is in the Clangen's code. She is a very compassionate warrior and will not let anyone be abandoned. Apart from that though, since she is a new member, she really didn't get up to anything this year. But I will say, she has been treating Driftstar's kits as if they were her own. She's really getting along with his kits and enjoying her time with them in the nursery. Apart from that, she has a little crush developing on the former warrior, the Rubble Slash. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. Now, moving on to our only apprentice, this is Lightning Paw. He was the rogue that was invited in, and he was originally a part of a rogue group. I think maybe it was a girls only rogue group because he was only 6 moons old when he joined the clan. Basically a kit. He was apprenticed to Wolverine Pelt. They didn't get up to much, but Wolverine Pelt made sure that he knew to navigate the mountains and taught him how to climb up rocky cliffs. Since he's brand new to this clan, that's all I wrote down for him this year. So maybe we'll see more of him next year. Next, we're starting off with the kits. These are Driftstar's kits. First is the eldest, which is Tangle Kit. He started off the year really worrying about his siblings and perhaps the parent that he lost. He was feeling really down. But as kits do, he quickly forgot and invited one of his siblings to play so he could enjoy some of his time. However, he then lied and said Conker Kit, a different one of his siblings, got him hurt. He then apologised for his father for no reason. I think he thought he was the reason that Driftstar, their father, was avoiding him. That's really sad for him. He then was trying to act brave, so we'll see where that takes him next year. Next of Driftstar's kits is Stone Kit. She is a very playful kit, so I can see her being an amazing warrior one day if she chooses that path. She was sleeping with Slipkit, one of her siblings, and also made her laugh, as well as herself, over and over again. Aside from that, she was just telling Tangлекit a amazing story, as well as he was telling her one. So they were kind of exchanging amazing stories they made up themselves, which is really nice, a sibling bond. Aside from that, since they are so young, I don't have much to tell about them. So I've enjoyed the speed paint. Next up is Conquer Kit. He started off the year thinking he was missing something, and technically he was missing a father, but that is really sad for a little kid to know. He was also offering Lightning Paw some tips on decorating his new nest. Apart from that, he was very frightened after hearing a story and hid in his nest and did not want to get out of it. For our final kit is Slip Kit, another one of Driftstar's kits, and the last. First off, she told off Sandfeather for something she was told not to do, so she repeated that to Sandfeather. She is quite bossy when she wants to be, and that's why so many cats love her for it. She unfortunately only did one other thing this year, which was running like a whirlwind around camp, which is so adorable. Right, that is unfortunately everything that has happened in year 1 of Hatchclan. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have already played through year 2 of Hatchclan, so I hope you guys like this as much as the next one.